Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something that feels, well, both huge and really hopeful. It's this question. In a world that, let's be honest, often feels full of conflict and stress, is it actually possible to build a genuinely positive world? It's a heavy one, I know, but maybe full of possibility too. We've got some fascinating insights here, drawn from a social activist and educator, really focusing on tangible things we can do and the impact they have. So our mission today is to unpack how, maybe each of us can chip in towards a world with more compassion, more understanding.
It's definitely a question that hits home for a lot of us, and it's important, I think, to tackle it realistically. We're not talking about some impossible dream, some utopia where nothing bad ever happens. That's not the point. This deep dive is more about exploring a conscious choice, you could say, a deliberate effort to, as our sources nicely put it, lean into the good. It's grounded in real actions, not just wishful thinking.
Okay, lean into the good. I like that framing. Let's unpack that phrase, positive world, a bit more. Because, when you hear it, you often jump to this idea of perfect harmony, zero problems, which feels totally out of reach, doesn't it? What do our sources actually mean by it?
That's a really key point. And you're right, it's absolutely not about pretending challenges don't exist or that we'll never disagree. Our sources see it more as a world where the core way we interact, the sort of guiding principles, are things like empathy, kindness, respect, a focus on everyone's well-being. It's where we try to approach differences with understanding first, rather than jumping straight to judgment, where people genuinely try to lift each other up and work together to improve life for everybody, not just for themselves or their group. So it's less a final destination and more like a constant conscious effort, actively choosing the good.
Right. That idea of active cultivation makes so much sense. And it ties straight into something we hear a lot about, the ripple effect, how small actions can supposedly have a big impact. But beyond the nice saying, how does that actually work? What's the mechanism there for creating positivity?
Well, the ripple effect isn't just a hopeful phrase, it really speaks to how deeply interconnected we all are. Okay. Think about dropping a tiny pebble into a still pond. The splash itself, it's small, right? Almost nothing. But the waves, the ripples, they spread out way further than that initial little disturbance. It's similar with positive actions. A single act, maybe a genuine smile, an unexpected kind word, even just holding a door might seem tiny, insignificant maybe. But these things, they don't just stop with the person receiving them. They can inspire others, subtly lift the mood, maybe motivate someone else to do something similar. It creates this sort of pay-it-forward chain. One person's good energy influences another, and it builds. It's often invisible, this spread, but it can be really powerful.
Ah, okay. So it's more than just a feeling. It's an actual transfer of energy and behavior.
Which brings me to something really interesting. Is there actual science behind this? How kindness spreads? We hear stories, but is there research?
Oh, absolutely. And it's fascinating stuff coming from social psychology, neuroscience. Research actually shows that just seeing someone else perform an act of kindness can light up similar reward pathways in our brains as if we did it ourselves. It's not just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It can actually trigger the release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which encourages trust, pro-social behavior, and it can even lower stress hormones like cortisol.
Wow.
And then there's this thing called moral elevation. Basically, when we see someone acting virtuously, being really good, it doesn't just impress us. It genuinely inspires us to be better people. Think about those viral videos, people helping strangers, communities pulling together after a disaster.
Yeah, you see those all the time. Right. They don't just make us feel good for a moment. They often actually push people to take positive action themselves. It seems we're kind of wired to respond to and, spread generosity.
That's incredible. Their brains are almost set up to notice and copy kindness. And speaking of spreading positivity, what about the bigger picture? Beyond just one-on-one interactions, what role do wider spheres of influence play?
Yeah, moving beyond the individual, these broader spheres are hugely important for amplifying things. Take social media. Okay, it gets a bad rap for negativity, and sometimes rightly so. But it's also an incredible tool for spreading positive messages, for organizing community projects, showcasing kindness globally. I mean, think about movements for good that have gained huge traction online.
True, it can mobilize people.
Exactly. And then you have schools. Such fertile ground for teaching empathy, respect, right from a young age. When schools focus on social emotional learning, how to resolve conflict peacefully, valuing diversity, they're giving kids the tools for a more positive society. It's about character, not just grades.
Yeah, building those foundational skills.
Precisely. And of course, families. That's the first place we learn values, isn't it? A home where there's open communication, mutual respect, love, that tends to produce individuals who carry those positive ways of being out into the world.
That really paints a picture of how it can scale up. So, okay, let's bring this back to the listener. Someone hearing this might be thinking, okay, I'm inspired, I want to do something. What are some practical, actionable things anyone can start doing, like today?
Right. This is where it gets really practical. And our sources offer some great doable steps. First, listen more. Seriously. In this world where everyone's shouting or waiting to talk, just practice active listening. Really try to hear and understand where someone's coming from, even if you totally disagree with them. It builds connection, reduces friction. It's huge.
Okay, listen more. That sounds simple, but probably isn't easy. What's next?
Second, speak kindly. Be conscious of the power your words have. Before speaking, maybe ask yourself those classic questions. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Just a simple, genuine compliment or some encouragement, or even just choosing a calmer tone when things get tense, that can completely change how an interaction goes. Choose words that build up.
Words matter. Okay, third.
Third, support someone silently. Not all help needs a big announcement. Sometimes the best support is quiet. Like maybe you notice someone's having a rough time and you just offer help without waiting to be asked. Or maybe you just sit with a friend who's hurting, offer a listening ear without jumping in with advice they didn't ask for. It's about being present, being attentive, seeing a need.
I like that. Silent support. And the last one.
And fourth, be conscious of the energy you bring. This one's subtle but powerful. Before you walk into a room, before you join a conversation, just take a sec. Check in with yourself. What energy are you carrying? Frustration? Cynicism? Or are you bringing calmness, openness, positivity? Her energy rubs off on people, you know. It's contagious. Choosing to bring a positive, open vibe can genuinely shift the whole atmosphere.
Listen more, speak kindly, support silently, be conscious of your energy. Those feel, really achievable. And speaking of feeling like you can make a difference, we actually got a listener question this week. Fits perfectly. Sarah from Ohio wrote, I want to help others, but I feel too small to make a difference. I think a lot of people feel that way, right? Faced with these huge global problems, how do you respond to that?
Sarah, that feeling is so common and completely understandable. We see these massive issues, and it's easy to feel like, what can little old me possibly do? But here's the thing, the kind of counterintuitive truth, maybe. Every single major positive change in history, you started with individuals, people taking small, consistent steps. How big or small you feel you are genuinely doesn't matter as much as your intention and your action repeated over time. Think about it like a single drop of rain. Seems like nothing, right? Insignificant.
Yeah.
But enough drops, they make a stream. Streams become rivers, and rivers, they can carve canyons. It's the accumulation. So really, don't underestimate the power of your kindness, your voice, your effort, however small it feels. That one positive chat you have today could start a chain reaction you'll never even know about. Honestly, that small, consistent effort, that's exactly what we need.
It's such a powerful way to reframe it. Yeah, turning that feeling of smallness into the starting point. These insights really do show that this idea, creating a more positive world, is not some abstract dream.
Exactly. It's not out there somewhere waiting to happen. It's right here in the choices we make every day.
Okay, so to really put this into action, we've got a little challenge, a positivity mission for you this week. For the next 7 days, the challenge is to practice visible kindness daily. What does that mean? It means consciously going just a little bit out of your way to do something kind that someone else can clearly see or experience. Maybe it's holding that door when you're rushing, letting someone cut in line at the store, leaving a genuinely nice sticky note for a coworker, offering a sincere compliment. You get the idea. And here's the fun part. We'd love it if you'd share your experiences online. Use the hashtag #TheEmpathyLens. Let's see if we can create a wave of these stories, actually watch the ripple effect happen. So given everything we've talked about, the science showing kindness spreads, the power of these ripple effects, just think about this. What if every single one of us committed to just one of these small, kind actions every single day? Not just for this week's challenge, but ongoing. What kind of world can we actually build together just by choosing consistently to lean into the good and, well, watch it spread?